Hello, I'm Louise Harris from Last Research and Editing and Christian Marketing Experts. And this week on The Last Word, we're going to be talking about celebrating your wins. So let's get started. Now, many small business owners know that to keep a positive mindset, they have to be happy about little things that they do in their business. Winning that first contract, getting um, getting a positive review on Google, finding something positive in a negative situation, learning something from a client who you didn't like. And all of those are little wins, and all of those need to be celebrated. And it doesn't, even if it's a small win, it's important because otherwise, small business owners will just start to feel defeated, and they won't think good about themselves, and all that negative energy will affect how they run their business, and it could end up making them wash out and not doing what they were meant to do, and they would have no idea that a month later they would get all of those things that they thought they were going to do to get. In my case, I had a win this weekend. On Friday night, I was at the Imagine Museum and I was selling my books, but I didn't sell any. The last time I was at the Imagine Museum, I sold two, but this time around, I didn't sell any. But I didn't get discouraged because a lot of people were asking about my editing, and I might get clients from that aspect of my business. And if I get editing clients, then it's well worth the time and effort of going to the Imagine Museum. And also, the art at the Imagine Museum is beautiful. The Imagine Museum is only about a 10-minute drive from my house, so it wasn't any kind of driving out of my way or going uh, too far. But, and if I get those editing clients, then, it's a lot more than I would have, even if I had sold all the books on my table. So I didn't get discouraged. The next day, yesterday, I was at Barnes and Noble, and I was only allowed to feature the 1776 Soldier because in bed and breakfast and uh, bed and breakfast and uh, Scroll of Secrets is not available through Ingram Spark, so it wouldn't be in the Barnes and Noble system because bookstores only buy from wholesale companies. So, but I figured, okay, it's brand awareness, and even if I don't sell any, I'll be fine because it I'm getting a reputation. But I sold out, and that was a little win. And I went to my granddaughter's birthday party. She turned 2, and I mentioned that I sold out. And then they were asking me how many did I actually sell, and I told them, and they said, "Well, it's a little win," and that made me think about talking about celebrating wins today on my video. So even if you don't think it's a big deal, it is always a big deal. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small or how large, because they do help your psyche and they help your mindset moving forward in your business. And there will be plenty of times when you will be discouraged and you need that pick me up. And in my case, I didn't really expect to sell any, and I sold out. So I was really excited. So, and on top of that, I might also get editing clients from that event as well. So it was a really good day. And seeing my 2-year-old granddaughter was also a beautiful, she's so sweet and cute. And I like seeing her grow up. If you are subscribed and you are watching this, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. I do provide tips for business owners and writers, and it does help with brand awareness and my YouTube ranking. One other thing I want to do is say thank you to the people who bought my book yesterday, and thank you to the people who are going to use me as an editor. Thank you for watching, and don't worry, be happy.